And we're live. It's been a couple weeks, but we are back. Lonely Marks here to talk some wrestling. Got a lot planned for today, but I am not alone. I am joined by these three lovely gentlemen. As always, JP will be right back. But Pez is here. Pez, how's it going? Just came back from vacation, right?
I know. I'm back from a vacation. This is my first show I've done since I've been on vacation. So, always good to talk wrestling when you get back from seeing some wildlife and some mountains and some stuff and a wild Jordan Anderson and, some other folks. But yeah, no, good times. And let's talk some wrestling. We've got a big weekend coming up. What's going on?
We do. I completely forgot that. Not because I haven't kept up with AEW as much lately, because I've just been busy, but I completely forgot that Double or Nothing was this weekend after King of the Ring.
I put it on my calendar a while back, and then I was like, oh, yeah, we got a King of the Ring on Saturday and a Double or Nothing on Sunday. I guess we're doing at least a watch party for one of those. The other
because I can't remember when King of the Ring will be on. Probably mid-afternoon or something like that. I think it's when those Saudi shows are on.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up and see when the actual live time is. But yeah.
All right, before we go live, let me tell you guys some deep, dark secrets. So,
all right.
What
the hell happened to your hair? Your hair's gone.
I know, but I'm glad you wiped your mouth from earlier because I heard it was messy.
Sorry, I've been
anyway. JPO, you look slimmer. Have you been losing weight? You look good.
It was actually all in the hair.
Oh,
okay.
It's amazing how much human hair weighs when you shave it off.
It's weird. Diamonds from across the border. So once I got that out, I was like, oh, that's like 40 pounds, I think.
All right, well, here's the real question. What does the lady think of it?
No, she likes the hair. We actually made into a mohawk for a second.
I don't know. She said hi to us more than she said hi to you, so maybe she doesn't like it. See, because I guess she didn't recognize you. She didn't know it's you. So you shaved your head and she just wiped.
She saw me like 2 hours ago. She knows what I look
like. Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, okay. There it is. See, there was the charm.
I'm starting to wonder, like, did I do something?
Is Jello good? Can I eat Jello? We keep talking about things I shouldn't eat. Well, Jello.
Yeah. Jello.
I mean, that sugar-free Jello is probably okay. If you want to go that route. Sugar-free Jello. So
we are joined by a king, a king of Queensland. So Richie, how's it going?
Hey, because it's like the King and Queen of the Ring, so I mixed up the names. I'm really clever, not really. Hey, I'm good to be here to talk wrestling stuff. I've been catching up on wrestling things like on today because I've been slack. So been good, but yeah, happy to talk about it. Been a pretty decent King of the Ring tournament as we'll get into, but yeah, no. Good to be.
By the way, 1 p.m. Eastern start time for King of the Ring.
Okay, so 10. That's my. See, since I have to ride the bus, I'm very limited on when I can go to the grocery store. And 10 a.m. on a Saturday happens to be my grocery shopping time. So I will watch the replay.
Yes, I will also watch the replay.
But
what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Well, just whenever you're ready. I wasn't rushing you. I was just.
Oh, I know. He was going to do it now. Let's start with King of the Ring now.
No, I just haven't read it. Can I not be prepared? Is that a bad thing?
I thought you were sharing. I thought you were sharing something else, like a before and after picture of you or something.
No. Do you want to see me with a mohawk? I can show you. Send that.
All right.
I don't want to see you with a mohawk. We can do that after the show. But anyway, how are you doing, JPO?
Doing just dandy. Obviously we're going to get to it, but I'm relatively excited for this weekend here. I think we got a couple of cool shows, a couple of interesting outcomes that could happen as well. Not the world title matches, but outside of the world title matches, there's a lot of unpredictability.
Yeah. The two main events are probably the easiest to predict so far.
And we'll get there, but not true because I don't think the AEW main event will be the title match, by the way.
Oh,
No,
oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
right,
Just
that's
like Richie likes, there's a triple main event for Double or Nothing.
That doesn't exist. That's not a
Well,
thing.
they kind of have done that too because they have kind of positioned the Mercedes Moné match as like a main event. So
No,
kinda
they're
have
going to
done
do them all simultaneously at the same time.
But
They'll be in the arena.
that's the only
triple
way.
ring.
They'll be in the
That's the
arena.
only way
Mercedes
that's the main
Moné
event.
and then we'll be in the ring, and then Swerve will be. They'll be on another ring. On the
Yeah,
entranceway.
yeah, they
It'll
can
be a
triple
triple
ring.
main event all going on at once.
Yeah, that's
That'll
the
be fun.
only way that makes sense.
Mercedes and Willow will end 15 minutes before the other two.
Yes.
And that's not a knock on them. That's just a knock on how much time the women's matches get. Anyway, news. Real quick. I don't know about you guys, but the big news that I saw today. Well, not big news, but SummerSlam for 2026 will be in Minneapolis. Minneapolis was the rumored favorite to land next year's WrestleMania. But yes, we are getting 2 nights in Minneapolis in 2026. They didn't even
26.
haven't announced next year's yet,
Nope.
but we know where it's going to be 2 years from now. So maybe it's warmer in Minneapolis in the summer. And
That's my thought. Is that
That'd
they saw the reaction to the cold weather in Philadelphia, and then we're gonna have ready a Minneapolis thing, and then said, "Ooh, maybe we should change that to somewhere warmer in April or whatever, or even March to a degree. Obviously, it's April now, but yeah." And Minneapolis are like, "Yeah, we'll give you something, but it's got to be in the warmer months of the year, where it's probably not going to be 20 degrees outside for our WrestleMania patrons outdoors in a stadium." So this is your consolation prize.
Yeah, what do you guys? Jordan, what do you think about Jordan? I just called you Jordan. I never call you Jordan. It felt weird. JP, what do you think about? It is, but I don't think I've ever called you Jordan on stream. Like
You said
ever.
it with such disdain.
I was like, you're not Jordan. But no, what do you think about a 2-night SummerSlam in Minneapolis?
Yeah, I mean the Minneapolis thing doesn't move or shake me, and anything that's not me going to it, I don't care about that. As long as it's a good crowd, hopefully. And yeah, other than that, but I'm cool with the 2 nights, I guess. Why not? I don't know if I want that to be a yearly thing, and maybe they're testing it to see, But hey, again, I'm also down for, more wrestling and more spots for people too,
And I'm also wondering if the 2-night thing is like, hey, we know that you were probably, super excited to get WrestleMania, and we kind of took it away from you. But hey, maybe we can work something out. We'll give you a 2-night event still. How about a 2-night SummerSlam in August? Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm sort of with JP. I'm neither here nor there with like where the location is, unless I'm going to it. But yeah, WrestleMania I'm kind of interested, but like SummerSlam, I'm like, yeah, cool. It's in a place, that's cool. But yeah, the 2-night thing, I'm hoping it's maybe a one-off. And like you said, I sort of lean towards like sort of consolation, like, hey, you couldn't get a 2-night WrestleMania. Here's 2-night SummerSlam, because I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I'll get used to a 2-night, thing, going forward, because that would probably they could open the door for 2-night other Big Four. Like I couldn't do a 2-night Survivor Series, 2-night Royal Rumble. I think 2-night should be strictly for WrestleMania. So yeah, look, like I'm happy for it in isolation. Just a 2-night SummerSlam for that year. It's interesting that they did. Guessing maybe next year's booked out or something. So, but it's interesting that they announced it this far in advance. So yeah.
Now you mentioned it, but I actually wouldn't be opposed to a 2-night Royal Rumble where each kind of Rumble match headlines the night. But at the same time, but at the same time, like don't overdo the 2-night thing and kind of lessens the importance of it. But I also I'm not against like a 2-night Rumble, because you could also you could get more championship matches on the card instead of it just being like a 4-match card with these 2-hour-long matches. I don't know, but at the same time, it's like not everything needs to be a 2-night event. GPO, you got any news from the last couple weeks that you want to bring up?
Yeah, I think the 2-night,
Yeah.
might be decent, but
You
sorry,
talked.
did I?
You talked before I went to Jordan.
I don't think you did. I feel like you didn't.
Not really. I really just kind of made one comment about the cold weather. That was really it.
That's about as much as input as they got in. So maybe I thought I went to you.
No.
Austin, what do you think about the 2-night event in
No,
Minneapolis?
I was only gonna say, like you guys have said most of the stuff. I was only gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year or two they went to the 2-night format for the Big Four, because you see the business they're doing gate wise, and they're looking at that money and those numbers. Doing 60,000 people 2 nights in a row at a stadium is pretty damn good business and a lot of revenue, and they've got the momentum and the hype to sustain it right now. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe SummerSlam is a trying that out, and then they go to a 2-night format for Rumble or even Survivor Series, because even Survivor Series you could have one night be a traditional big Survivor Series match, brand versus brand. You could also have the Showcase War Games, whatever that is, on the the second night. So you could do something to that effect. But I wouldn't be surprised given the gate numbers they're doing. That's all.
I do.
I really don't hate your idea of splitting up those rumbles too. I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, and Pez brings up a good point with the money. I mean, it is, after all, it is a business.
They making money right now.
Money.
They're hot. It's not like they're struggling to fill up stadiums right now. I mean, they're doing their thing. They're selling out Raws. They're selling out SmackDowns. They're the hottest. Everybody said it. The hottest they've been in 20 years. So why not capitalize on that? Especially if they keep the momentum going. With everything they've been doing, there's an interest in this, Triple H era and whatnot, and everybody seems to like it. There's little things too, man. I know we'll get into it, but I was watching the Gunther Jey Uso match, and they came back from one of the commercial breaks. It did a camera angle on a crane that swung through a ramp, through one of the walkways, over to ringside, and kind of halfway into the ring. It was really cool. Some of the stuff they're doing presentation wise is awesome.
Yeah,
they're doing really creative stuff, and I dig it.
Yeah, and I love those entrances. Title match entrances are great.
Yeah, they're doing really well with that too. So yeah, I mean, they're doing innovative things. They're keeping people interested. I'm down.
I wouldn't even be surprised if later on, with the overseas success that they're having, if they keep Money in the Bank as an overseas event, and you do that 2 nights with a ladder match headlining each night. Again, it's all about the money.
I'm not entirely sure they're going to do it, because I think they now consider Money in the Bank as part of their Big Five, and Nick Khan said they're kind of might keep their Big Five just in America, or at the very least maybe Canada. That's why they're going to Canada this year. But I don't. It maybe wouldn't surprise me, because I mean they did go to UK at one time, but I don't know. I wouldn't see it. I wouldn't expect to see Money in the Bank as a regular thing, but maybe. Overseas, but maybe I would I think more likely we'll just see sort of these other pay-per-views pop up, you bash in Berlin, but it'll be something different. I don't know, what Rumble in Rome. I don't know.
Yeah, you need a title for an Italy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Rumble in Rome.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the
you do
Royal
Rumble. Rumble's copyrighted.
Yeah.
They've already got that.
Yeah. Ruckus in Rome.
Yeah.
the Roman ruckus.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for them to do more overseas stuff, because those crowds are insane.
They are going back to Japan for a house show tour. It's not going to be televised, but I wouldn't surprise if they maybe put some of the footage of that online once they do it, because they're doing Osaka 2 nights, I think, and then some other town, but it's all house shows though. Nothing, no premium live events.
Right. Cool. So, yeah, JPL, you got anything that you wanted to bring up from the last couple weeks?
No, I mean, we're going to touch upon it soon. The big Triple H announcement earlier, kind of making the King and Queen tournaments mean a little bit more. Guaranteed for SummerSlam, title shots, which is good. There's an end goal kind of there, and that's some good build up too. Because if you think about it, that's a 2-month build up, 3 month almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is the last one to get a title shot was Brock back in 2002.
And that was a great King of the Ring as well. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah, it was a
glad.
fun game to ring and led to a huge, title change, and yeah.
Mhm. I did have one small note. We talked
Oh, yeah.
about it kind of in our chat, but they finally maybe listened to some people and gave a little space
Sort of.
between all in and all out,
Oh,
kind of a little bit, at least a
They
week.
listen.
I mean, just saying.
Instead of 1 week, you got 2 weeks.
Yeah, it should be like 3 or 4 weeks, but I mean, what are you gonna do? They probably already had the building book.
Yeah, like yeah. Anyway, I don't know if it's gonna make much. It's good that they listened, but yeah, really, maybe all in all out. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit confusing. Like, I don't know. Maybe I get that why they're doing the names, but maybe it can be confusing sometimes, especially if you can do all in all out. Yeah, just I would keep like at least 3 weeks between pay per views if you have to, but minimum, because even 2 weeks is like it's a lot. Asking people go, hey, spend 50. It should like $50 in 2 weeks, and it's hard. It's not
Yeah.
a long. It's not a
That's
long.
100 in 2 weeks. Yeah.
It's not a long, and it's not a long time to build up build up another pay per view. So, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think this is just a very band aid solution. That's not going to actually that's not going to actually you're still going to get the complaints. So unless you kind of be like, the year after, like, hey, okay, we don't have anything in October. Let's just do all out in October. We'll call it something different.
Well, you can still do it. I mean, they're kind of hell bent on doing that Chicago show like every year because it's going to be Chicago again. So I mean, that's fine. But yeah, push it back 4 weeks. Do it in October. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. JPO, what are your thoughts on the All Out being pushed?
At least by a week.
Yeah. No, this is another one that's kind of odd. It's better. Again, at least this is better than nothing. Because I think that it was a lot for pay per view buyers. I mean, I thought they did an okay job of the card itself, but it did feel like a B card compared to the A card that we had it all in. You know what I mean? It did feel
Right.
kind of like, Raw exclusive Backlash after a Mania. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, all right, this is cool, but is it $50 worth? I don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like we all kind of agreed on that. Despite it might be a fun show. So. Yeah, it's a lot, and yeah, I don't know why they're so hell bent on that exact time frame. I'm even glad Tony backed off. 'Cause like I said, when he was asked on that scrum last year, he almost indignantly was like, "Nope, this is how it is. I think it's really cool that we get able to back and forth. The game was great. It seemed like he was so unwilling, but I finally get enough in his ears. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think we mentioned in the chat, if they had a streaming thing like HBO Max or whatever, that'd be easier to kind of be like, okay, look, it's still still a gap between pay-per-views would be better.
But if it was like, it would be easier on the wallet if it was like,
Yeah.
hey, it's going to be an exclusive on Max 2 weeks later.
Totally.
But if you like to stream it, as part of your subscription, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I still criticize you a bit because it's like you probably should space it out a bit to generate interest, but like in terms of money wise, yes, I don't. It's not as like if WWE did a pay did a PLE like 2 weeks out, I'll be like, okay, it's a bit questionable, but like I can watch it. It's not like it's not like it's not like an inconvenience necessarily.
Anyone got anything else they want to bring up?
There wasn't much else pressing. Other than they said Eddie Kingston was going to be out for like a year.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah,
damn.
Yeah.
Because I guess like he with the suplex by Gabe Kidd, and they initially thought he broke his leg, but I think he also tore his ACL or something.
Yeah, it was a break and a tear, which is a double whammy, which sucks.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, sorry, I had to.
Yeah, that is
It's unfortunate. That's a shame.
it's unfortunate. Yeah. I guess the other things I just sort of rumored. Apparently Natalia hasn't. Her contract runs out in a couple weeks. Still hasn't signed. That'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if she left because she's been in the company since 2006. So, but
yeah, nearly 20 years now.
So, yeah. Apparently, Becky Lynch hadn't signed a new one. Contract's running in a few months, but I don't expect her to go anywhere. So,
As long as Seth is in the company,
well, yeah,
you don't want to leave her man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess sort of a kind of a slowish like news week as far as that goes. It's just
And we took a week off.
No, you're like, oh man, we've got a lot to catch up on news wise. Not really.
Not really. We were kind of waiting for those stories to like drop, and it was really just just stuff we could talk about while we're making predictions as far as like storyline wise and results and whatnot. Everything else is there hasn't been a whole lot of big breaking news. So
do any of you guys want to see Paul Walter Hauser in a Mick Foley biopic? That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, yes.
I mean, again, like the article I shared on that group was just they've talked, which could mean anything. I'm sure there's a lot of movies being talked about over the years that didn't eventuate into anything. So
that and any story that starts with so and so is interested in doing this, that doesn't mean shit. That means nothing.
Right.
Like what's his name? The dude from Black Panther, the Duke guy, whatever, wants to play Batman. So what? Who doesn't want to play Batman in Hollywood? Everybody.
I just read that for Jensen Ackles of Supernatural. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you would, buddy.
I'm sure you would,
and I like you, and I think you'd be good. I'm just saying.
I'm declaring. Austin Pezhal is declaring his interest in playing Batman in the DC universe. So write an article. All right, great.
Yeah,
cool.
I would like to play Hagrid. Should they ever remake Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to headline the Comedy Store. Doesn't mean I'm going to next week or anything.
Yeah, you have great interest in headlining the Montreal Comedy Festival, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Yeah, I have interest in that.
Of the three of these, one of those is actually attainable should you try hard enough.
No, I was going to say, no matter what,
I'll be Batman.
Prediction-wise or not, we all should watch MLW Battle Riot because Paul Walter Hauser is an official.
He's going to be in it. That's gonna be amazing.
I'm down for that spot alone. Yeah.
We can hop on and do a watch along. I got that Triller TV Plus.
Yes.
Watch along link. Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. I still got it from my WrestleMania weekend. I kept it.
This might be an obscure kind of like news thing, but I still kind of want to spread some love. Any longtime indie fans or backyard wrestling fans, I believe it's tonight for AIW. Josh Prohibition. You may know was the cover star of Backyard Wrestling and has been wrestling for over 25 years, give or take. His last match is tonight, and it's with, very apropos, M-Dog 20, Matt Cross.
I was going to say, who else would it be with other than the guy he's had 900 matches against since, like, 1999 or whatever.
Yeah, so I just, a name that, like, again, unless you're an indie lover, like, never rose past the indies here. Hasn't even really tried. He's kept it kind of mostly to AIW and Ohio companies these last several years, but still, I think left his mark. The high impact style him and Matt Cross would do, transferring to the actual pro style, and so just shout out to Josh Pro.
So what's funny, JPO? Did you ever own that Backyard Wrestling? Don't try this at home, like DVD. Like I have a couple of those.
I had one of them. Yeah,
there was a couple, but there was one that was literally like. It was backyard clips, but the main chunk of the video was just highlights of M-Dog 20 Josh Prohibition matches, like one after another.
I had something with them, yeah. I had one that was like a highlight reel for the game that had like it was mostly them, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of them for like most of the video and some other stuff like in between. But yeah, I ended up I've watched that one a lot.
And M-Dog would go on to do some stuff. He was in the Stone Cold Tough Enough season, got eliminated first, I believe. Mm-hmm. He was on the Hulkamania tour. He's done. He was in an All In, actually, him and MJF.
Wasn't he on Wrestling Society X as well? Was he on that?
WSX, yeah. Ring of Honor say so. Like he's done several slightly higher things, and also found out recently too. Here's a behind the scenes thing for you. Not a big wrestling fan. Did it because he thought it was a good way to get free travel. So look out for that kind of.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if it's like a hot take or not. I remember when like Backyard Wrestling the game like came out and people were, like shitting on it. Well, rightfully, I mean, I get why people wouldn't like it, but I don't mind those games at all. I like the sequels.
Well, the games also just weren't that great, though. To be fair, like they were pretty like almost like the AEW game to an even worse degree. Like once you played it for a little bit, it's kind of glitchy and
Yeah.
You-
It is if you know what you're getting. About it,
There's
whatever.
not a lot to like
Well,
any
no,
story
but
modes or
you
anything.
should
There's
be
no depth
getting
to it.
a better made game. It's not you don't know what you're
Yeah.
getting because you can make a fun backyard wrestling game, a fun fighter, like and be better with your
Yeah.
glitches and gameplay. The gameplay wasn't also like that great.
Yeah. If you want to know the glitchiest game I've ever played wrestling wise, if you've ever played Showdown Legends of Wrestling, which is the third Legends of Wrestling game, which is a giant pile of shit. I mean,
And again, to be fair, all those Legends of Wrestling are pretty shitty. They never
third
figured
one-
out that franchise.
Mhm.
Killer rosters, though. Oh my god, you look at those Legends of Wrestling roster. Like that's like the last video game before AEW where you play Owen Hart, and they had everybody. The first one has like Rob Van Dam, Eddie Guerrero, Bam Bigelow, everybody. But unfortunately, yeah, it was here's the entrance. Walk, pose, pose. Walk, pose, pose. Walk, pose, pose. And then yeah.
There'd be times where I would be I would be going to pinning my opponent, and then all of a sudden the opponent would disappear, and I'd just be pinning the mat.
Wonderful.
Even though
Every time they made a sequel, I was like, "Come on, this time! Come on, this time!"
Fool me once, shame on me.
Fool me 9 times, shame on you. Anyway. All right.
All right. What do you guys say? We get into some
There's
King
some
of the Ring
predictions, and then some blind rankings, and then some more predictions.
some more
We got
predictions.
a lot of predictions.
We got a lot of predictions. We'll break it up a little bit. Yeah, we'll do some King of the Ring first.
Not too bad because again, just like every tale of the tape. No, you can start it. I was just saying, just like every tale of the tape. WWE, not a lot. AEW, little too much.
But I wasn't taking it up. I'm just converting it to my ticker as I convert it down.
Hey,
to
there
ticker.
you go.
JP, I don't know if you heard, but I was thinking as a couple added bonus predictions, because this is the first time we're predicting a WWE premium live event where the matches aren't actually set
Yeah.
yet.
And as someone that has the graphics, I know I don't have a full graphic because we don't have them yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as
Well, we
a
can predict
couple
the
bonus
matches
predictions-
into the final thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do the Randy Orton, Tama Tonga, and then the Nia Jax, Bianca Belair as added predictions. So a total of 7.
But technically, you could then make it 8 or 9 if you predict to win the whole thing as well. On either side.
Yeah.
Not only predict the match, but also then predict the winner of the men's and the women's.
Right. So,
Well, before we get there, we do start off with Becky Lynch defending her women's championship against Liv Morgan.
Are we sure we start off with that? Right? No, I mean, we just.
We can. Why not?
I mean, like we don't know.
Graphic ad.
We don't know if this is the opening match. I'm just saying. No, but yeah.
Nobody's saying it is. Just starting with the first graphic.
We're
ad.
starting off with
I
this
know,
first
I
graphic
mean,
and his first prediction. We're going with this one because it's on the undercard.
No
It's not the
reason.
main event. Yeah.
Anywho, God, I wish I had the string rights to fucking meet you. Jacob Barber, take it away.
yeah, this is an interesting one because I could see this going either way. But I'm kind of really digging the character work that Liv is doing right now, and I think, I don't think Becky's going to be hurt by losing the title this soon after, winning it. I think they just needed to put it on somebody, and she's a safe choice. So, you know what? Give me Liv Morgan to be the new champion.
Yeah, no, I think it is quite possible here. I'm a little torn. I'll split it off though with you starting off. Though I'll say Becky. I think, obviously we're not done with Liv and Rhea that could or could not use the title. So we'll see kind of where that falls when it gets to it. But I don't know. I kind of just see the man keeping it for now. What do you got, Richie? We're split at the moment.
Yeah, I do see Rhea and Liv being a title feud. I guess it all depends on what I mean, whether Liv holds the title for a while before they get to that. I don't know. Does anyone know the timeline for Rhea's return or anything like that? If she's out for a while, I guess I don't know if that factors in.
But I did
I don't know.
Buddy's Matthew Flay on a half naked Rhea.
Yeah, look,
I was just about to say that.
If I was Buddy Matthews, I would flaunt that shit too. That's kind of that he does Twitter. He does Twitter right. I like that. But
caption was "Life is peachy."
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Morgan as well. I think there's, I think I think they're gonna have Rhea come back to babyface and chat. I mean, she kind of already was, in a way, and challenge, Liv for the title. She's gonna be chasing for the title. So yeah, and I'm liking Liv's heel work here. So I'm gonna go Liv to win the title.
She got arrested in Florida for pot. Pez, will she also take the title?
I'm gonna go with the logic that Liv takes the title so Becky and Seth can go have a nice long vacation while Seth is recovering, and they can just go chill for a little while, and well deserved, because I feel like they were gonna go do that anyways. And then Rhea got hurt, and they're like, "Hey Becky, can you hold this title for a little while while we, I know you're gonna go on vacation with your husband, and your kid, but hold off on that for a little while." So Liv will do that and allow Becky to go on a much leave of absence.
All right, I have some faith in the man, but 3/4 of the Lonely Marks say we have a new champion coming. We got Intercontinental title in a triple threat match. Sami Zayn, Chadley Gable, and Bronson Reed taking it out. This is another one. Damn, I am torn because honestly, I do see a world where any outcome is possible. I could see Sammy and Chad being so focused on each other that big old Bronson Reed takes the title. And I think you could argue when it comes to who makes the man, does the man make the title, does the title make the man? I feel you could argue Bronson could use the title the most out of these three. Sammy's pretty set. He'll get a title later anyway. Chad is, I think, a little more over. So you could argue Bronson. You could argue Sammy kind of squeaks it out. I'm going to say Chad Gable finally, though, gets it, though, here. I think you can argue that Chad is kind of right on that cusp of next level. And I think getting this IC title, because he's never had a good singles title so far. So let's get Chad Gable a good singles title. Let's start him off almost like how as our kind of new age Kurt Angle. Richie, who's walking away with that IC title?
I just like how you called him Chadley. Imagine someone walking around called Chadley. Their parents are taken. Anyway, I'm actually going to go with your logic that you started with. I think that Sami Zayn and Chad Gable are going to be so preoccupied with their own hatred and rivalry for each other that they're going to kind of almost forget about Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed's going to capture the title. I mean they could go back to the title at some point, and I'm sure Chad will win the. He's probably destined to win the Intercontinental title eventually. I'm glad that he's finally. Triple H is finally he's seen something in Gable, and he's finally in the big push that he's probably been deserving for a long time. I wish it came years earlier, because he's I think he's at 39. He's at now, but I'm glad it's happening. But I what you said, I think Bronson could use his title. I think he is sort of getting over with his tsunami move, but I think having him in the Intercontinental title, I think that'd be cool. And there's a story you could tell that they're Sammy and Chad are so blinded by their hatred for each other that they lost sight of the actual the champion, focus on the actual match and championship, and then they could go back to the actual the championship later on. So I'm gonna go Bronson Reed.
Once again, the marks are a little split here, Pez. What about you?
I'm going to split it up even more, because I'm going to say Sammy retains because I think he maybe Chad asked for the assistance from a certain Otis. Otis screws it up somehow, and only to further his rage against him and his hatred of him. Sammy somehow retains it, maybe by pinning Bronson, something like that, setting up for the inevitable, much bigger, just one-on-one kind of match with them, maybe a clash or something like that. So and narrow it down a little bit. So I'm actually going to say Sammy retains because of some botched interference.
Botchamania is coming. Jacob, you got to agree with one of us. Who do you agree with?
Math-wise. Yes, let me check my math here. Yes, that's true. Okay.
No contest. No.
The whole match gets thrown out in a no DQ, no count out match.
No.
Otis gets added to the
So-
match.
It's happened in the WWE before.
Yes.
But no, I am also going to go with Sammy just because I would love to see Gable as the champion. I would love to see Bronson Reed as the champion, but I don't think you build Sammy up to beat the longest reigning intercontinental champion of all time just to have him lose the title in a couple months. I think he's got to hold the title for just a little bit longer. Otherwise, it's like, why take the title? Like, if you were just going to give the title to Gable, let Gable be the one to, pin Gunther. That's my thinking anyway. I could be totally off on that, but I am going to go Sammy. But this is another one, and I love this because Backlash was, so easily predictable. That this one is like, hey, this could go either way, and
I wouldn't be mad at really all three of these outcomes actually, no matter what happens. So yeah.
No, we're in agreement that there's some different possibilities, and none of them are really bad ones. Kudos to all three men. We do got someone thinking Bronson's taking the title.
Mhm.
We got someone thinking Chadley's taking the title. We got 2 votes for retaining Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
So this is where we get off now to the kind of having to predict SmackDown part SmackDown because we are not quite sure. So what is it again, Jacob? You want to help me out? Because I feel like you knew.
So yeah, so for the men's we have Randy Orton taking on Tama Tonga, and then for the women's we have Nia Jax taking on Bianca Belair.
All right, I think Richie, Randy Orton, Tama Tonga. We'll run through this one real quick.
I say Randy Orton goes through because Gunther's in the final, right? So I think you'd have a baby face take it. I do hope Gunther's a bit careful with him because I'm worried about Randy Orton, who's bit of a bit of a I don't know, he's a bit delicate. Coming off an injury, you could go in the ring with a guy as stiff as Gunther, but yeah, I'm going to go Randy Orton.
Pez, what you got?
Yeah, no, I don't worry too much, Richie. I think as hard hitting as Gunther is, he's very safe. Like even his matches with Dragunov, when you go back and look at them, they beat the hell out of each other, but everything they did was completely safe. Like it's a bunch of chops, a bunch of kick pads to the back, into the chest, and some pretty safe power bombs and whatnot. He's a very safe worker. It just looks brutal. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. They'll be able, but yeah, like you said, you need a heel versus a babyface. So and the bigger match is just Orton versus Gunther. That's a pay-per-view quality match. So yeah, I'm easily going with Orton here.
Jacob, 3 for 3 or nah?
Yeah, 3 for 3. Had Jey Uso won, I would, go Tama Tonga. But yeah, since it's Gunther, and as far as I can think, we haven't had a Gunther Randy Orton one-on-one match, so it's the first time, and I'm excited for it. I would be excited for a Gunther Tama Tonga match too, but I think the one that's more interesting is Orton and Gunther. So I'm gonna go with Orton.
Yeah, I think there's some more questionability in the next prediction with the women than there is here for the men's. Because I just think Gunther and Tama Tonga is a weird match right now. Gunther and Randy Orton is both pay-per-view worthy, and also just makes way more sense as far as the face and the heel. So I do think it's we're definitely in agreement that Randy Orton, Randall Keith will make it to the pay-per-view, the PLE on Saturday. Shit.
Might be
I'm
fun.
It's going to be a double or nothing. That's cool.
I'm just pay-per-views are on Sundays, man. And the
This is a premium live event. So
and then what do we got for women? We got Bianca and
Nia
Jax. Bianca, Nia Jax, awesome.
Oh yeah, no, this is a little tougher, yeah, because I could see either outcome being pretty decent. I'm gonna go with Nia. I think they're pushing her to be kind of a heelish queen of the ring, so I'll go with Nia.
Jacob.
Yeah, this one is a little tougher, but I'm also gonna go with Nia Jax. I think Bianca's got the the women's tag title. She's doing her thing with Jade. That I don't think she also needs this, and especially since it's now going to be for a title shot. I think you can build Nia and whoever the champion is leading into SummerSlam. I think you can build that nicely. I think Nia's getting a little more interesting. Like I'm kind of enjoying what she's doing. So yeah, I think they can make it work. Let Jade and Bianca focus on tagging for now. So I'll go with Nia Jax as well.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see a world where, unlike a heel versus heel match, I could see there just being a nice, Bianca, slightly the veteran now, taking on the newcomer, just having a good old match. But I will go for Nia as well. I'm taking it away. So these predictions didn't help. But it might matter for once we get to the actual show itself, because now, as we can be as brave as we can be, say, now we're kind of predicting the finals here.
Oh, I haven't.
Richard didn't say
I
it.
also predict Nia.
Shit! I just pulled it over. Damn it!
You pulled a me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for the reasons you said, I'll just add, like, is it me or has Nia got? I wouldn't say, like, because I watched her lately. Has Nia got better in the ring, or she just books better? Because like she's had decent matches.
I think they're more just booking her as what she should be, which is like a big giant woman. Like you need to book her as a giant, like and book more steadier pace matches with like her just doing, being the giant. Like that was a problem they had with the Big Show for a little while. They weren't booking him as a giant, which is what you should do.
Yeah, like she had a really good match with like Naomi a couple weeks ago, but usually but probably back then, like maybe Vince's Lord should have like a 2-minute match, whereas like she had a good, they had a decent back and forth. I was like, okay,
yeah, and her match with Rhea was really good.
Yeah, and Becky a few couple months ago. So I'm like, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm turning a corner on her necessarily. I wouldn't mind Nia winning it, to be honest. So yeah.
All right, so now we just predict the actual king and queens, right? Like who wins the crowns, right? On both sides.
Yes, there's JPO. He's back.
I froze out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're good now, though. So
I'm back. Just doing sabbaticals as I like to do from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, luckily since we all agree, we can all kind of basically just predict now how we think the finals will go.
That's right.
And hey, this could also mean nothing if, let's say, we're completely wrong and Tonga and
Bianca win. Oh, then we're a bust. Oh well, at least we're all together. We're together strong.
And we're all together. So, Jacob, who's walking away the let's go men's king? Is it Gunther or is it Randall?
Men's king.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I would love to see, Randy Orton add King of the Ring to his resume, he doesn't need it. He's fine. As much as it's gonna suck seeing him lose on another premium live event, since he returned. I think 5 in a row now, which sucks. But he's also at that point where he can just have really good matches and help put people over. But if he is inserted into a title picture somewhere down the road, like that's fine. He's Randy Orton. Like he's gonna still deliver. So I'm gonna go with Gunther. I think, he lost his title, but it's only now he's gonna propel into that main event scene. And I think it starts with King of the Ring.
Yeah, I think you could make a claim for Randy versus Cody's an interesting match. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's for their own respective brands. So this would be Randy versus no, it'd be Cody. I was right.
Yeah, it would be Cody.
All right. I'm paying attention. So yeah, I mean that'd be kind of interesting match, whole legacy rematch there. But I'm thinking Gunther. Mm-hmm. But then again, that would be Gunther and Priest.
Unless the title changes at Clash.
And then Drew versus Gunther.
Drew versus Gunther.
I'm in for that.
Yeah.
All right, good. You helped me. All right, so I'm gonna go with Gunther as well. What you got?
Yeah, I'm like, not really. I'm not going to be the outlier here. I mean, I do expect we'll see Cody and Randy at some point. I think that's a match that's on the table there. You kind of got to play into that history. I just don't think you have you. I think Gunther's really kind of hot right now, even though he hasn't he just lost the Intercontinental title, but they're still very high on him, and I do expect at some point in the near future him being the actual world champion. So yeah, I think you do that now, and I think you'd be missing an opportunity for like Samantha Irvin to go King Gunther. Yeah, her saying King Gunther in a trademark voice. So yeah, I'm going Gunther pretty easily here.
Guys, are you one of us?
Yeah, the King General will reign supreme.
Ooh,
Yes.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, yeah, no, I thought about that, and then I watched the match, and I was like, "Oh, Pat McAfee already said
Pat
it."
McAfee said
it. Yeah. I thought I was being clever, and then Pat said it as soon as I was watching the match. I was like, "God damn it, King General."
Well, we're on agreement that we're thinking Gunther is walking away with that crown you see on the left. Who's walking away with the crown you see on the right? We're all kind of in agreement that we're thinking it's going to be Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria. I'm thinking Nia Jax is walking away with it. I think we now also with my logic is a little bit of Raw, a little bit of SmackDown. You know what I mean? If you put it on Lyra, you got two King and Queens walking around at the same time. I think Lyra is already shown, has kind of had a plus just making it this far. You know what I mean? So I don't think taking a loss is going to hurt her by any means. I think kind of establishing just a little bit more. You know, this will be technically Nia's biggest win since returning. Because, she hasn't had any titles or anything. So I think Queen Nia's coming. Richie.
Yeah, I must say too, I'm kind of thrilled and impressed how like they've used like the people who have been called up. I mean, there's outliers like we haven't seen Dijak yet, or Kiana James was just in one sec,
Odyssey Jones, just give him at least a match.
Odyssey Jones. Again, I agree with that comment. I'm convinced that I haven't seen him and he doesn't exist. But like I'm impressed because I think like sometimes it takes them a bit to get over, but like people like Ilya and like Lyra are getting quite over now. It's cool, and I could see them doing like a thing, similar to Brock Lesnar, where like she gets a title shot like quite quickly off the bat. But I'm sort of in line with your logic of the one Raw, one SmackDown. So yeah, I'd probably I'm more inclined to go that way. Go SmackDown and have Queen Nia Jax. Who's the SmackDown? I keep forgetting who the SmackDown Women's Champion is.
Hey, we want some Bayley.
There's so many champions in wrestling. Yeah, Bayley. Yeah, and I think they foreshadowed that like weeks ago in the build up to the triple threat match. So yes, so I think it's not.
Guys,
Nah, it's Queen Nia. Yeah, it plays into her personality, plays into her character. Yeah, she could play that up on SmackDown. Yeah, do a build towards a Bayley. I think that makes sense.
and Jacob, why do you disagree? I think it's Lyra. Come on, do it.
I don't disagree. I do think it's going to be Nia. However, I still think Lyra could be the challenger for Liv going into SummerSlam. I think they could still build to that. I think she could keep the momentum going. And funny enough, I also think Randy Orton could be the challenger for Cody.
Yeah, I could
I could see the losers also getting championship matches at SummerSlam, earning them in some other fashion.
It's like an AJ situation where it's like, I think AJ's it might beat LA Knight because he's gonna be the title challenger, and LA Knight beat him and he's still the title challenger.
Yeah. So no, it's Queen Nia. Yeah, I think one Raw, one SmackDown, and I think I like face kings, but I think heel kings just do so much more with it that I think it could be much more interesting with Nia.
Well, all hail potential Queen, King, and Gunther, and maybe Queen and Nia.
It's going to be Tama Tonga and Bianca Belair.
Oh, did I not save it? Oh, maybe I didn't save it. All right, Logan Paul, Cody. What do you guys think? Oops.
Who first?
You, Richie.
You just want to 1, 2, 3 it. Like anyone
Yeah.
taking
Is
Logan.
anyone taking Logan Paul
No,
to take this title? Of course
This
not.
this is tournament fights where it's Godfather and Freddie got fingered. Is anyone taking Logan?
Well, you know,
Charles-
Freddie got fingered.
Charles
No, I'm
Wright.
just kidding.
No, I will say, like, I thought, because I think they clarified it recently, but I thought they booked themselves in a corner at one point, because I thought it was going to be like title for title or something, because even Cody implied that. He was like, oh, on Twitter, he's like, for all the gold, but I think they kind of clarified just for the WWE Championship, because I was like,
It's just classic bait and switch. It's them hinting and making you get excited and then going, nah, fuck you.
yeah,
And to me,
because
that also
Like
that
maybe that was the
is the fact that Cody's winning, because now it's like Cody can win, Logan can just go back to doing what he was doing already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like you wouldn't like, because to me that was baffling, because like, you wouldn't want like Cody shouldn't lose, but then you shouldn't have Logan Paul not be the United States champion going into SummerSlam, which is in Cleveland. So, in my opinion, so yeah, but so I'm glad they made that. They made that clarification. But yeah, Cody's winning.
In my opinion, they just shouldn't have hinted at it ever. It just felt like a bait and switch and a real obvious. Hey, in case you were not sure before, be even more sure now.
right.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, you want to explain what we're doing now?
Yeah. So if you guys have a whiteboard or something to write with handy, we're going to do some blind rankings. And now
1 to 10?
1 to 5.
5.
So we're going to do 5. I do have 6 different categories, all wrestling related. And depending on how long they take, we might not get to all 6 because we still have 10 matches to predict for Double or Nothing. So depending on how long they take, maybe we'll only do a few of them.
And that's just a pre-show.
Right?
That doesn't include everything he'll announce on X in the next 4 days.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we'll have 6 more matches to predict in our chat. So the way this is going to work, I will give you the topic, and then one by one, I will give you a person or whatever pertaining to the topic, and then you will rank it before I tell you the next person or whatever the topic is. Because the first part, you're not actually going to rank people for the first one, because the first category we're going to do is theme songs, entrance music. So we're gonna rank entrance music, and the first entrance song that I have for you is Chris Jericho's Judas. So 1 through 5, again, without knowing what's coming next, where are you gonna rank Judas? And of course, and then just so we know that there's no tomfoolery or shenanigans going on, we will be revealing one by one as well, just so you know. Oh, I actually like this one better, so let me. Ooh.
Yeah.
So, no, we. All right, so, yeah. So, Richie, are you good?
Yep.
Okay. JPO, where have you ranked Judas 1 through 5?
I put it at 4. I think it's fun, but there's better songs.
All right, Pez.
5. I think it's fine.
Okay. And Richie.
That far off.
I'll split it at 4.
Hey, all right, we're all on the same page.
All right. Cool. All right, so yeah, we got 2 4s and a 5. Your next.
I'm gonna do what JPO's doing. I'm gonna actually write out 1 through 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That seems like a good idea. All right, just to keep track. All right.
Your next theme song is CM Punk's Cult of Personality.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's hard not knowing what's coming next. Pez and I do this
Yes.
on a much larger scale on the podcast about movies sometimes.
There's a lot more wiggle
I've seen
room when
these
it's
on
1 through
the
20.
TikToks and the YouTube shorts, but I've never done one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a lot of fun, and when you get down to those last 2, it can be kind of stressful. Like, all right, what's that last one going to be though?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right,
Yeah.
Richie, just let me know when you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Pez, where have you ranked Cult of Personality?
I'll go right in the middle, number 3.
All right. Richie?
I said 2.
2. All right. And JPO.
I also would pass. I said 3. I think it's more cool because of him than the song itself.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a wrestling. Like, I didn't know that CM Punk could use that. The first time I ever heard the song was on Guitar Hero. That's
Yeah, I
where
know it was a
heard the
normal
song for
song,
the first
right?
time.
I probably played it.
Yeah. All right. Your next theme song is for Hulk Hogan. We're going with Real American. Let's try to mix up the time frames too, so it wasn't all current.
I prefer when Beavis and Butthead watched Real American on Beavis and Butthead and watched the video. He's a real American. Yeah, kick him. Yeah, get him. Yeah, punch him. Yeah, get him.
Beavis and Butthead, which is nowadays.
Yeah. I know, but I'm not really tracking all this TV show shit
No, I don't
for
think.
a future tournament.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get to the first 64 TV winners.
TV shows that have
soon.
won, yeah. I
Yeah,
have to go back and look at those.
Right. Richie, where do you have Real American?
I don't mind the song, but it is corny, so I put number 5.
All right. JPO.
I said number 2. I mean, it is iconic. It fits. It's got lyrics we still know.
All right. Pez.
JPO and I are kind of riding high on this, keeping this number 1 slot open.
All right,
We're
cool. Yeah,
I got number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting seeing how people rank these. It's pretty cool.
Come
All right, your next
Val
one.
Venus. Come on, Val Venus.
No, but we are going to go back to 2003. This is a song from one of my favorite albums. We're going to go with "Rollin'" for The Undertaker by Limp Bizkit.
There's
only one more after this, huh?
One more after this, yes.
This,
No, we would love
this is going to be stressful.
Roland, which damn near won our tournament fight for entrance themes, came down to the finals.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. JPO, where have you ranked Rolling?
I'm really hoping you're giving us a banger. I said 5. I don't do 1.
All right, Pez.
I'm all in on Roland. It's awesome. It's his theme song. And if you go back and watch some of those Raws from like the Invasion era when he was using it, the pop that he got for that song, the crowd going nuts, it is a true great entrance theme. It is awesome. So, and it works for that character. So I'm going all in on that. I'm saying number 1. Cool.
All right, Richie.
It's also my favorite video clip with Ben Stiller in it. He's also in the Jack Johnson video. I said 3, so number 1 did be fucking good. I'm very stressed.
All right, so JPO and Richie, you still have number 1 open?
Yes. I have number 4 open.
You have number 4 open. All right. So JPO and Richie's number 1, Austin's number 4 is going to be Metalingus, Edge.
You know what?
I'm fine with that.
Fine. I don't mind the song. I like the song a lot. I even got the album it's off.
I'm perfectly satisfied with my rankings at least.
That's I'm happy with my rankings.
Part of me wanted to make this last one the right to censor. I was this close, but all right, that's.
You should have known. I was going to suggest Rob Conway's.
Just look at me.
Sad to see.
Sad to see.
I also debated the Mountie, the William.
Oh, the Mountie would have been number 1 with the bullet. I'm the Mountie. I'm the Mountie.
Yeah. The Regal entrance that he got trolled with during his match with Daniel Bryan on Superstars.
Just a man's man.
So. All right. So that was.
All right.
It gets easier, guys, because we're gonna go with our top 5 authority figures in WWE. So not just general managers, but also maybe some commissioners and whatnot, because we're gonna start off hot and see where you guys go. Because number 1, not number one, but the first guy, is going to be Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Sheriff Austin.
Oh, Sheriff Austin.
Yeah, or
Mm.
yeah.
So not as co-general manager as Sheriff Austin.
Yeah. Sheriff
Alright,
Austin specific. Yeah, because I when I put that one together, I was like, oh no, because he was co-GM, but then he had like he was also sheriff, so like
Yeah.
it's kind of unfair to do both like because they're not like I mean he's Austin either way, but like yeah. So, Pez, where are you ranking Sheriff?
It's a fun gimmick. I'm gonna go number 4. I like the 4-wheeler and stuff, but it also got a little corny after a while when he would come out and just be like, "Somebody's in clear violation of the law." Like it was weird after a while. It was like, what? Like I feel like even the crowd was kind of the crowd was kind of even over it like after a while. So like it was fun at first, but then it kind of got repetitive for a while. So I'll say number 4. Because if you have like Sergeant Slaughter on here, he's bottom of the list for fucking sure. Because he was horrible. We'll see.
Maybe. Richie, where do you have Sheriff Austin?
I have him at 3 just because, partly because of what Piers says. Also, it was a bit short. It was short-lived as well, and also I know he doesn't book the show, but I don't like the way he treated Lance Storm. Okay, Lance Storm.
Oh yeah, the boring thing.
What? JPO, where do you have Sheriff Austin?
I said 3. It was fun, but I'm hoping there's worse and there's better.
There might be, because up next we're going with Commissioner Foley.
Ooh.
Commissioner Foley, played by Paul Walter Hauser. Coming soon. Richie, where are you ranking Commissioner Foley?
I'm gonna put him number 2. I did enjoy him. I thought he was entertaining. But I'm hoping there is one thinking of that I put number 1, but I'm hoping you mention him. So I'm just hedging my bets on that.
I don't know who that is, so maybe I do, maybe I don't. JPO?
I got love for it, and I'm hoping there's just a lot of worse things. I put number 1, baby.
All right. And Pez?
I'm with you, JPO. I love Commissioner Foley. Commissioner Foley was awesome. He was great. The haircut, like the way he would rip off people's catchphrases, laugh at people.
He's kind of like the first fun GM who commissioned.
Super fun, super babyface GM. Like he would fuck with the heels. Like he would put them in like tough situations.
Gavel, the cactus.
Dude, he would have the offices in the random places every show. Be in the bathroom or the loading dock or on a forklift or just random, like a boiler room, like whatever. Like just set up his little stupid offices everywhere. Like it was fun. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
And it was funny. Like he'd be like. I remember like a couple of segments where he's like, he plays his cactus, goes, prick. It's like, and I was just talking about you.
I doubt I'm sniping this from Barber, but oopsie if I am. Everyone's sleeping on Santino. Reminds of Santino and TNA right now. Santino's a really fun.
He's fun.
GM.
Well, considering I said,
set shit up.
If I was doing all companies, I might have, but I'm just
okay. Shows you how much I watch or follow TNA. This is news to me that Santino was TNA's general manager.
Santino is basically their GM, director of authority. He has some sort of
something like that. Okay. My number 3, we're gonna go with Eric Bischoff. Remember, just WWE, not WCW.
Bischoff comes to Florida sometimes because Atomic books his son. They're like the only people that do, so they can't do sometimes. Yeah.
Well, the only people who do. That's it. I mean, he's not great.
So, JPO, where are you putting Eric Bischoff.
I like him, but I'm thinking there could be one more higher, so I'm going to say 4.
All right, Pez.
Number 2, love General Manager Bischoff. Love him. That's another thing. Like, it was a perfect follow-up, like, a couple years after Foley. Like, a really good heel GM who would give it his comeuppance every now and then. But, like, that song would, like, you'd hear that song and go, oh, God damn it. Here comes Bischoff. Like, you can feel the crowd was just like, I'm back. Oh, shit. Here comes Bischoff. Like, the reaction you should get for, like, a heel general manager. And, like, it was really, really good. So I like Bischoff.
Right. Richie.
I have number 1. He's a fantastic heel GM. I thought he was great in his role, and get his come up. And sometimes I like the intro. I just think he fit the role perfectly. And you never thought he would actually maybe be in the company. And I think he did it.
I think his run as an on-air personality in WWE was better than his WCW run, like personally, because the WCW when he would ramble, he would just like follow Hogan around, like he wasn't like terribly interesting. Like for a long time, like he was just like it was that go away heat, but in this one he had good heat, like he had good heel heat, like in WWE. So
yeah.
All right, number 4, we're gonna go with General Manager Daniel Bryan. All right. Richie, you good?
Yep.
All right. Pez, where are we putting Daniel Bryan?
Easily number 5. I wasn't watching wrestling much around this time. Didn't see much of General Manager Bryan, so easily number 5 for me.
All right. Richie.
He's number 5 for me, just because you could tell at the time, like, he was put in a position because he was like sort of made to retire. You could tell that he wouldn't, like he made the most of it. At times he was entertaining, but you could tell that it's not what he wanted to be doing. He wanted to be in the ring. And you could get that sense of him sometimes in his facial, especially with that infamous Miz promo. So I'm gonna go number 5.
All right, and JPO.
I'm hoping 5's bad, so I had to put him at 2.
Well, you might be right because number 5 is the anonymous Raw general manager.
Okay, fine. It's fine.
I was like, when I was putting it together, I was like, well, Daniel Bryan's not super great as a general manager. So, so JPO has him at 5, and then you had number 3 available, right?
Yeah, I actually don't mind that because I'll tell you why. The payoff was terrible, but like when that little chime would go off, it got heat. A fucking sound effect got heat. Like it would do it. In the flashing, like the crowd would start booing immediately, and like I think that was the one time where heel Michael Cole kind of worked when he was reading the announcements. Like that was the only time it worked, was when he was reading the announcements, not the actual announcing. So I didn't necessarily mind it as a gimmick. Like I thought as a gimmick it was at least interesting for a while.
I just love the fact that Edge turned babyface by beating up a computer.
Yeah.
He beat up a laptop and he turned babyface.
Yeah.
And Richie, where did you had number 5 available still, right?
I had number 4. Number 4 was available, so I had a number 4.
All right.
Yeah. So it's fine. that suits me.
Well, he didn't snub him. There's only so many he can pick. There's also the very obvious person we don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
A certain Mr. Somebody. We don't really talk about that. As an authority figure was pretty amazing. But, yeah.
Number 1.
There's Commissioner Regal. There's, Yeah,
this is easily a category. Like, I mean, both of these categories that we've done, we could.
You could have so many ones in there. It's not really a snub. You can only pick 5.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll do at least one more and then see how we're doing time wise.
All right.
So for this one, we're gonna go with Intercontinental Champions.
All right.
Like best.
Best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how would you? Yeah, best Intercontinental Champions. Maybe all of them are good. Maybe some of them suck. Well, it depends on how you feel, because up first we have The Miz. as IC champion. I believe he has won the title 8 times. But again,
As IC champion.
yes,
8.
as IC champion. Yeah, that doesn't. I think I was looking at it before, The Rock won his last whatever. I think it was like his last 3 world titles. His like 7 reigns were less than 400 days or something. Like he didn't. When Rock was champion, he didn't hold the title for very long. So I think the same thing is true of the Miz. Like he has a few short reigns. But Richie, where are you ranking the Miz?
Because you brought up his example before, I had sort of time to think about this, and obviously, I knew thought Miz would come up just because it was long range. So, I put him number 4. I think like he had a decent reign. He was good with the title, but I think there's if they're brought up, I think there's 3 hits.
All right, JPO.
I said 3, kind of again the middle logic of like he did have it a lot. He had some good matches, pay-per-view matches. So hoping there's some worse and better.
All right, and Pez.
Don't give a shit about the Miz, number 5. Don't give a fuck. I'll take almost anybody over him. Don't care.
All right, well, I know this one is better for Pez, but we'll see where JPO and Richie put. We talked about him during our King of the Ring predictions. Randy Orton. Yeah, because it was just the one reign, but how good do you think that reign was?
Who was it?
Randy Orton. And JPO, whenever you're done writing, you can go ahead and tell us.
I said 4. Again, it's one reign. I don't really associate the title with him.
Fair enough. I can dig it. Pez.
This is where Orton got over for me. Legend Killer Randy Orton is fucking awesome. I loved that reign. I loved the gimmick. I loved what he did with it. Number 1, Randy Orton, Legend Killer. I love Randy Orton, Legend Killer. Love Randy Orton, Legend Killer. So I'm totally fine keeping that at number 1.
All right, interesting. It's interesting because I think every time we've done the movie one, you've never gone like worse than best. So it's interesting. It might be easier too because there's only 5.
There's only 5, so yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Richie, where do you have Randy Orton?
I sort of just go off different metrics. Like I love Killer Randy Orton, but yeah, like I'm sort of going off like he didn't have that memorable reign other than maybe the Mick Foley match. I think he lost to Shelton Benjamin, and I think I'll sort of run him Raw or maybe in a pay-per-view. So I put number 5.
Wow, interesting. All right, this one's kind of all over the place. I dig it. Number 3, we're going to go with Mr. Perfect.
Ooh.
In case anyone is curious, I think for the authority figures, I too think I would have put Foley at number 1, and then for the theme songs, I think I would have gone Rollin'. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
With Judas a close second, just as a song, and the crowd involvement, I think for Judas is.
Do you like the Urban Assault Vehicle remix with Method Man, Redman, and DMX?
Oh, that was yeah. Rest in peace to DMX. Pez, where are you putting?
Right in the middle of number 3. I think Mr. Perfect had a lot of good matches as IC title. It's about the closest he ever got to a world title reign, realistically. But yeah, really solid. Reliable guy.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Richie.
Yeah, I also remember number 3. I think again I'm hedging bets at the 2 brought up, but Mr. Perfect. Yeah, I think it was a solid reign. I think closely ever got the title. And he sort of made he was one of those guys that the man makes the title. I think he held it really good. He had a good reigns and he was really good with it. So number 3.
All right. And JPO.
I have him at number 2. I loved his reign. I loved some of his matches. So hopefully it's a little bit higher, a little bit lower.
Mhm.
Oh, well, we'll see, because up next is Chris Jericho. All right. Richie, where do you have Chris Jericho?
Yeah, it's just sort of working out so far. Yeah, I have him number 2. I think the guy with the most reigns as Intercontinental Champion, with 9, I believe. Most of his reigns were pretty memorable. Some better than others. Like he was co-champion once with China, but yeah, I think he also sort of elevated the title at the time as well. And he just made a great Intercontinental Champion. It was it was a good. Yeah, I think it really helped get him over. So, yeah, number 2.
All right. JPO?
I actually got him number 1. Had the title a lot, had some really good matches here, and I'm afraid about that last spot as always.
And Pez.
I have him number 4 just because he won so many titles that I don't remember a lot of the individual short reigns that he had. Other than I think his most memorable one might have been the weird co-intercontinental thing with China. Like that was weird. Yeah, and like that stuff was odd. And then the other ones were like just kind of sprinkled throughout. I think of him more as like his reign as like undisputed champion, or some of his tag team runs with Christian, or whoever. Like it's just a little bit more memorable for me personally.
All right, so so you have number 2 available. JPO, what number do you still have?
Number 5.
All right, and Richie, you have number 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, according to Richie, of these 5, the best Intercontinental Champion is Zack Ryder.
Oh, you fucker! But for the purpose of this. For this game, Gunther's ring name is Zack Ryder, because that's where I thought you were going.
That's what you get for assuming you.
I know, but you have to call this sometimes.
As big of a Gunther fan as I am, that would have been too obvious.
That's why I'm so happy I took Randy Orton and just made him number 1. Yes, Legend Killer reigns.
JPO, you have Zack Ryder at 5. Pez had him at 2.
I make an argument. Like, look, no one was expecting him. I think he kind of was fit. I think he said this story before. He found out on the day that he was winning, because I think Cody was actually supposed to win.
Somebody else was supposed to be in the match, and he wasn't even supposed to be in it. And then
Hey, a memorable moment, if anything else. I remember that.
I remember being like, I was genuinely shocked, and I was like, oh yeah. And then he lost it the next night, and I was like, well, that's stupid. But all right, so we are an hour 20. What do you guys think?
One more. Got to get to Double or Nothing.
Let's get to Double or Nothing.
Talk about.
Let's get to Double or Nothing.
We'll save some for next episode. We'll do some.
I do like that though. You could probably use them again.
Yeah, we'll do
I still have 3 more.
He's got 3 more. Perfect. Yeah,
I have them ready. So, JPO, you got graphics for Double or Nothing as well?
Yes, I do, sir.
What a stupid question.
Oh, snap. He's
saved under my AW Don photo.
Don.
The Don.
I always have to remember to write smaller than I did for King of the Ring, because I'm like twice as many matches, so I got to write much smaller for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Double or Nothing. It's this Sunday live on PPV. 10 matches to go through, yo. We got the international title on the line. Roderick Strong taking on William Ospreay. Barber, who you go?
It's interesting that they're having Will Ospreay go after the international championship when we all thought he was like a lock to go after that world title in Wembley, which I think is still going to happen. But I do think Will Ospreay wins this match. However, I think it's by disqualification. That's not an official prediction. I'm not predicting the disqualification. I'm just predicting Will Ospreay to win. Because, yeah, if you're gonna have him be like your headline guy going into Wembley, like, why have him lose this close? But at the same time, Roderick Strong just got the title, so it's a hard one to predict. I am gonna go with Will Ospreay though.
All right, we got one for Will Ospreay, and I'm going to double that up with two for Will Ospreay. I just don't see. I don't see DQ ending on a pay per view here. I don't think we're going to derail the hot new young signee, and I don't know. Maybe this is the way to. Maybe we're going to kill off a random title. Maybe have him just walk in Wembley with this title in tow. I don't know. Time will tell, but I do see Will walking away with the title. Matt and Jeff's younger brother Richie. What you thinking?
Yeah, I think the idea of this match is confusing because I didn't think, I didn't expect Will Ospreay to go after like a secondary title on his road to what we assume is the main event at Wembley. You'd think he's the hottest guy in the company. And I really liked Roderick Strong's work lately. It's weird to think that he could be in my thing for most improved, given that he's been wrestling for over 20 years. But in terms of character, he's actually shown charisma and it. But just to I don't know why. And I don't agree that they should do this. But just to make it interesting, I'll go Roderick Strong.
Very nice.
No, Will Ospreay is not losing. I don't think hardly any matches up until Wembley. So especially at pay-per-view, Will Ospreay wins.
Richie, when you went with Roderick?
Yeah, you went with Roderick.
Roderick, just because I don't know why they booked the match. Anyway, go.
I mean, it's that stash, baby. So no, we got one for Roddy, but three of us think we got a new champ in Ospreay. Jordan, what you got? Timeless Tony Storm, Serena Deeb. I feel like they kind of tried course correcting this on Wednesday, but making Deeb a little more heelish, using the heel of the shoe. But I just don't think she's as over as she could be, and Timeless is just still way too over. So I don't see her ending this reign here. So I'm gonna go Timeless. Richie, black and white or color.
Off tangent, did you see that? Just really quickly, did you see that there was a wedding photo of someone got married? Oh yeah, Ruby Soho's wedding, and
Ruby Soho and Angelo Parker. Congratulations to the newlywed.
Yeah, and Tony Storm was photoed, and she was still in black and white. It was great.
Keep it alive. Post on social media. You're damn right you should. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I think they should just kind of, read the room and just go full babyface with her. I don't know if they, really have, they kind of have, but not really. So yeah, and I love Serena Deeb, but yeah, she's sort of put in a weird position at the moment. And I hope she gets tired one day, but won't be at Double or Nothing. So Timeless.
Alrighty, Bez.
Yeah, Tony's taking this one. I think the build for this has been weird. Serena did that speech about her almost dying, got no reaction whatsoever, and everybody just likes her anyways. So yeah, Tony's still interesting.
Barber, do you with us?
It's not another clean sweep because she went for Roddy. This one will be a clean sweep.
Basically, I decided I'm sick of winning predictions, and I'm just going to throw this one.
Right. That's me with every AEW show.
I believe everyone.
So different. Yeah.
A barbed wire steel cage match. Maybe hasn't been seen since JBL Big Show. Richie, who you got? Is it the Man on the Edge or is it Aleister Black?
Probably for good reason, because that JBL Big Show match wasn't great. But look, I actually usually I'd say Edge hasn't had Adam Copeland, It hasn't had the title that long, so maybe you give it more time. But I don't know. I think there's more mileage at it. Malachi Black as a singles champion. I don't think. I'm surprised Adam Cole maybe got the title to begin with. I don't think he needs a title. So yeah, I can see the. So I like the idea of Malachi holding singles gold. So I'm going to go Malachi Black.
We got one new champ. Pez, you with him, or they can retain?
Nah, I think Copeland will retain here. I think it'll be a nice bloody match. But yeah, I don't see Copeland going anywhere with that title right now until maybe him and Christian kind of square off properly. I don't know. They come back around to that. So I'll say Copeland.
Barber split a current tie.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go with Malachi Black. I think he's been with the company long enough that I think it's time for him to have a singles title reign. And yeah, just because it's in a barbed wire steel cage doesn't mean people still can't get involved somehow. So I'm gonna go with Malachi Black.
All right, and guess what? I'm going to go with Malachi Black as well. I think Adam Copeland doesn't need this title. I think Malachi Black has needed a singles title since his WWE run. So I think let's finally solidify this man as one beast. And why not do it in this crazy-ass cage?
Wouldn't be surprised to see Copeland retain, though.
Do have some hope for Copeland retaining, but we're thinking it might be some spooky time with Alistair.
By the way,
John Moxley taking on, yes.
Malachi Black's back tattoo is absolutely sick. I just want to put that out there.
John Moxley taking on Konosuke Takeshita.
Sorry.
You just wait your turn. John Moxley taking on Konosuke Takeshita in an eliminator match. So if Takeshita does defeat him, he will get a title shot later. What you thinking, Pez?
Takeshita in a chance to win a title match when he's done nothing but lose lately. So, rankings. Moxley wins and probably goes on to have a match with Swerve while we're building up to Wembley.
All righty, and Barber?
The fact that they're doing this on pay-per-view makes me think that maybe we're in for a surprise and that, we see the rematch later on, probably on maybe on a New Japan show. I'm gonna go with Takeshita.
All right, and Richie, I'm sorry, it's me now because I gotta decide. I think because Takeshia's not a New Japan guy, I don't know. I'm gonna just go with Moxley. I know it's not a retaining match, but still he is the champ, and I kind of feel like they kind of still care about stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm going to go Moxley here. I think Moxley's just going to kind of look strong. Give it to Takeshita. Takeshita will give him a run for his money. Could be a good match. Could be a sleeper match. But I'm going to Mox. What you thinking, Richie?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of championship elimination matches on pay-per-view. Why can't, right? Is there some issue that they can't do a championship match on pay-per-view? They're not, I don't think Takeshia's going to win anyway. But, I don't know. Why is there a championship? I don't even like the idea of, I don't even like the term championship eliminator match. Just, I don't know. It's just a wanky way of saying number one. I don't know. It's basically a wanky way of saying number one contender, but there's never it's the champion.
Well, I would say number one contender because then that usually leads to either man. Moxley's not going to be a number one contender for his own.
I know, but
there's a better way to say it though. Eliminator is weird.
It's a dumb way to say it, and it should be just a championship match. Does it really matter if he has a title shot?
Match? I don't know.
I don't care. It should not be. It should not be on pay. Yeah, a championship elimination match should not be on pay per view. But anyway, John Moxley's.
I mean, they gave Hobbs a straight up shot, right?
Yeah. So why can't they give?
Why couldn't Kesha get it? Yeah, because that's my only gripe. Yeah, so it was unless it's just to give Takeshita nice big wins and then ultimately lose, I don't know.
And Takesha's been very vocal about being unhappy as well on interviews.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's some hope for Takesha, a little bit of hope for Mox. We shall see. Barber, up next, we got, even though we saw it a couple weeks ago, a normal ass match. Orange Cassidy, Trent Barreto. What you thinking?
Well, I think this shouldn't be just a normal match, but whatever. Man, I think I think I have predicted Orange Cassidy in just about every AEW pay per view except when he was going against Will Ospreay. um, uh, and that's going to change. I think I think Trent is due for a decent pay per view win, and I think he's gonna get it here. So I'm gonna go with Trent.
If this was just their actual first encounter, I'd say Cassidy. But because Cassidy already defeated him in a normal match, what are we doing if he just to do it again? So, unless, of course, there is always Don Callis to keep in mind. They have teased that maybe Cassidy's going to go with him. Obviously, some could say that could just be a twist to have Trent go with him. There's been rumors of Statlander. Who knows? But, yeah, just because I feel like it'd be weird just to kind of retread, I'll say Trent as well. Richie?
And this booking AEW's gone downhill. And I'm just like, why are we doing this randomly again if there's no stipulation? And then I don't understand why Orange won. You got a newly minted heel in Trent Beretta. Like, you think, oh, okay, cool, he's got some momentum, and they just Orange just beats him. I think Trent needs momentum here. Like, give him a decent push. Otherwise, he's just going to be back to where he was, just as a heel. So I'll go Trent.
All right, Pez.
Yeah, I'll make it a sweep here. Yeah, because what you said, didn't Orange already won, so Trent should win this one. So yeah, Trent.
All right, because some could say that's a small bit of an upset here, even though Trent was a day one guy and Cassidy got signed like a year later. But yeah, they can maybe it might just be Trent. Get it? Because of course, Mark. All right, it is a triple threat match for the World FCW Championship. The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, defending against Hook and Katsuyori Shibata. Lots of wasted TV time just to get to this obvious triple threat match. But anyway, let's see. What are we to me?
Yes.
I think? Hey, that sounds right. I can see this going one of two ways. I don't see Shibata winning because that seems very weird because this is a weird title. If this wasn't the FCW title, I could say Shibata has a chance, but I just don't see why you're going to put this fake who gives a shit title. So it's either going to go back home to Hook or stay with the Learning Tree. I'll just say the Learning Tree ekes it out. Triple threat's a good way to kind of do that for heels. So, Richie, are you under the tree or are you going to get hooked or Shibata? I don't know what to say.
I wish I love Chris Jericho, but man, I am not interested in what he's been doing lately in the last few months. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether you're just having this triple threat match so that Jericho's not involved in the decision, so you can do a one-on-one match again. But I don't know. No one cares about the title. So I don't know. I'll just say Hook to make it interesting. Hook finally, Hook finally taps out Jericho and then moves on to having it as a prop and going after other stuff.
All right, fuck the world, Pez. What you got?
Pass. I mean,
Barber.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody care? I feel like it's not going to be Shibata, but it's like, yeah, does Hook take it back and just frustrate Jericho a little bit and they keep this going again? Or does Jericho, what else does he do with this? I don't know. I feel like it's just been kind of pointless anyways. I'll just say Jericho does it and throws it in the garbage or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
She get Nikki Cross with the 24/7 title, not even landed in the trash.
Yeah.
Barber, what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking this could be a lot more interesting if the title wasn't attached to it, but it is, and that's kind of fine. But yeah, I think Hook's gonna take the title back because Jericho doesn't need it. Hook doesn't need it either. Nobody needs it. But yeah, it doesn't make sense to see Jericho walking around with it. He can still do the whole Learning Tree thing without carrying around a title that's not even an AEW title. So I'm gonna go with Hook, but yeah, I could see Jericho retaining as well, and then Shibata's there. It should be. I think it should be a good match. I'm looking forward to the match, but it's like
That's
at the same time.
the weird thing. As much as I don't care about this title. I enjoyed both singles matches, so
Yeah,
we'll probably have a little bit of fun.
I'll take matches that are on pay per view because Jericho said so. For 300, Alex. Because I feel like it lately.
Jericho doesn't want to be left out of the proceedings. Yeah.
A little bit of Jericho hope. We got some Hook hope, and thanks for showing up.
Thanks for coming, Shimo.
Let's see. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang. No, they don't scissor anymore. Bang Bang Gang defending the Unified World Trios titles against the Death Triangle, Pac, Phoenix, and Penta El Zero Miedo. Richie, what do you got?
I feel like this match is just like made like this week, wasn't it? It
was literally like Pac and Phoenix just kind of like this whole trio just got back together. Like, I got friends too,
Yeah, so because
that's my Pac. You guys get that? I'm Pac,
a great Newcastle accent. Just because of like the quick way they put it together, I don't know. I just feel like they wanted. Again, I mean, it's good that he's on the main pay-per-view, but remember when Jay White fought for the main championship? Anyway, wasn't in wrestling in a scrap to it's just a random last minute scrap together match. Look, it's going to be great. Probably like the last thing. It's going to be a great match, but beyond that, I don't know. I just think Bang Bang Gang end up winning because there's not been much build up here. I think it's just a match to have a match. So yeah, Bang Bang Gang.
Mm-hmm. Are you bang banging, Paz?
Bang bang, yeah, because this was thrown together last minute. But hey, at least Jay White's got promoted from the pre-show to the main card. Good for you, Jay White.
Good for you. Let's move to the pre-show watch. Barber, what you thinking?
Again, should be a great match, but too many. I'm on that bandwagon now, but too many titles. The unified 6 titles could potentially change hands in one match. No, that's too much. But I don't think they're going to change hands. I think the Bang Bang Gang is going to keep them.
I'm tempted to now just be that against the green guy and say Death Triangle. And Anarchy, I will. Fuck it. I don't know. Let's get Jay White and Singles. So, yeah, mostly thinking Bang Bang retains. I'm going to give some hope to Death Triangle. Pac also needs a little bit of love. I think Penn and Phoenix are better as a tag team than they are solo. We got the TBS Championship. Willow Nightingale against the in-ring debut of Mercedes Moné.
One of the triple main events.
Yeah, the first of our triple main events.
I'm bad at remembering. Who's next?
Pez.
Me? Oh, I think there's a 0% chance Willow wins this match. Mercedes ain't losing her first pay-per-view match. Mercedes.
Barbara, you want to speed around this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if rankings mean anything, why does Mercedes Moné have a title shot in her first match? But she's going to win anyway.
Because it's for clout.
Yeah, fucking Dirt Sheet Radio, if you watch, if they're on fucking Facebook, they always mark out for anything AEW does, even if it makes more sense to criticize them. And they'll gaga over the rankings coming back. And then they had no really explanation why. And there's I had justification as to why they shouldn't have brought back because they don't mean anything. And saying that, yeah, Mercedes Moné is wins. Because I feel bad for Nightingale. She didn't have much of, she just had a short reign here, but I think it was just to do this match. Because we had a match at New Japan, remember, and it had to end early because Mercedes broke her ankle. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna get her gonna get her moment, even though she's a heel now. I think it's established she's a heel. She was booed last week. I don't know. This might not be their last match necessarily. I can see this feud going on, but I think Mercedes wins this.
Well, so much for a speed round. Yeah, Mercedes Moné probably going to take it. I agree. So, we got several votes. Everyone voting for the new champ. I mean,
Head
big
off the
signing.
roundabout, okay? You'll go.
It sucks Willow won't get to have a longer reign. For the world championship, Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, anybody not take a swerve?
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, I was about to kill you, Richie. Yes. Well, can we actually speed around? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Jacob?
Swerve, I think Christian Cage is doing interesting work, but Swerve isn't losing, and Christian isn't being a world champion again in AEW.
Another, you could always point out another. Why is Christian Cage just coming off a loss? Just straight up getting a world title. So yeah, another. What's up with the rankings? But yeah, Swerve retained. Nice, good old retain for Swerve. Oh, again, could be a really sleeper, just really good match too. And then finally, Anarchy in the Arena, Pez's favorite match of the year. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Scapegoat Jack Perry, and the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada taking on FTR, aka the Revival, aka Dax and Scott Hardwood Dash Wilder.
The mechanics.
The mechanics.
The mechanics. Plus, Darby now after breaking his foot, getting hit by a bus. And Brian Danielson to round things out because I guess he's not a heel with Blackpool. I don't know.
Because he just has to live the gimmick apparently, even in real life, and just throw himself in front of buses and shit, just to prove that he's plastic.
He is hardcore. Jacob, is it you?
Sure, since we kind of just did a speed round on the last one. Yeah, this is weird because I'm not the biggest Eddie Kingston fan, but I feel like I would have liked the team a lot more with Eddie Kingston on it rather than Darby Allin. Although I am curious, like what big spot Darby Allin is going to do to nearly kill himself this time. But yeah, no, I think this is probably one of the easier matches to predict on the night. I think it's the Elite. I think they're kind of this somewhat new heel group as far as this iteration, and you're not going to have them lose to this kind of thrown together team when they're kind of establishing themselves as this big heel stable. So I'm going to go with the Elite.
Yeah, no, you still have a lot of my bullet points here. I mean, I always do see giving it the nice little face win, especially if this is going to close the night potentially. But I think there's a lot more fun to be had with Elite kind of ramshacking, taking over. You also got all the champions are kind of on one side, and this is, I believe, the return in ring of Jack Perry, right? Like, this dude hasn't stepped in the ring yet, so I think this is a good way to kind of set him up now as a potential new star. Not a new star, but like reestablishing now him as a major star rather. So also though, just on a weird side note, I'm interested in seeing what Okada does in this match because this is not screaming like an Okada match. Everyone else kind of tracks.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know Danielson. He's a big mixed martial arts. He can kick and fight. Darby obviously could be thrown from 12 different stories. FTR can brawl. We've seen Matt and Nick have some weird shit. But yeah, just Okada doesn't scream crazy street fight, so we'll see.
He's gonna wrap his arm in barbed wire and hit rainmakers on everybody.
Yeah,
extreme.
I can definitely see that happening. I think that's definitely a big possibility here, and hopefully they have some fun though too. Hopefully they have some shit planned. It being at the MGM Grand, maybe some cameos, maybe some shenanigans. Richie, is it the elite, or is it the other guys?
I do feel bad for Swerve, like being like, he had all this momentum and he's not going on last. I don't know. It's like, again.
He might. I just know that it was a rumor that was heavily discussed.
I could see it not going on last. I think, this was probably the main event, which is
between this being the crazy ass match and also that match being predictable, the Swerve match. Like, I think it's the two major bullets.
Yeah, I think it's obvious, but yeah. I will say I do like, and I also do like the logic of, hey, Eddie Kingston's hurt or be out for a long time. Who's healthy on the roster? Hang on, we'll get the guy who broke his ankle in a match and got run over by a bus. Hey, can you come back early, please? No, I'm right. Yeah, cool. I'm held together by duct tape. But yeah, no, I'm with your logic here. The Elite. I think
Like Brian Danielson couldn't get his Blackpool Combat Club buddy Claudio Castagnoli and get him on a pay-per-view. Like that would make a little more sense. you know?
And that's just going to keep fueling the feud between Eddie and Claudio because it's like, oh, you replaced me with Claudio? What the heck?
yeah, that'd be kind of good. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Like you have to bring out Darby, who's who going to be in a wheelchair by 40. Hopefully, I want to be wrong, but Jesus Christ. And apparently he still wants to climb Everest next year. Anyway, but yeah, the Elite.
Anyone else not trusting Darby with that flamethrower last night? Or is anyone else like, Darby, all right, put it down now. Put it down.
Yeah,
You had your fun.
not trusting Tony as a boss, giving just as talent flamethrowers. That's
That's
weird.
what I'm saying. I really don't feel like they gave him enough, safety speeches. Like, I feel like they're that kind of guy. Like, that's how you turn it on and have fun, Darby. Because, do you have the Elite, or are you anti-Elite? And then we will find you, like by Matthew.
Hold on, I'm getting an alert that Dave Meltzer has already given this match 5 stars.
5 stars.
Just check
Meltzer already wrote it up.
Okay, yeah, he already wrote his review already. No, I mean, I thought the Wembley one was at least a little bit better because they migrated as a group from like one place to another, so that, we caught most of the spots. I just that original one they did, I hated because it was literal anarchy and you could tell what the hell was going on like most of the time. But 5 stars because ratings or whatever now. No, I mean, I think it'll be fun for what it is. Again, as long as they plan it out and tell everybody what they're going to do, and as far as keep things centralized to different places and like let us see everything. I'm fine with that. Use your split screens when you need it. It'll be fun, but I'll take the Elite.
All right, hey, kind of. I mean, I guess both main events were kind of potentially a little predictable that the heels are going to walk away with the win here. I think the more momentum is currently on their side.
I feel bad for a card too. Anyone want a beard?
I'll look over the card one more time, everybody. That is your current card. As we sit for Double or Nothing, none of them are labeled as pre-show matches, so we'll see if something gets changed or just simply, I would imagine, something get added over the next couple of days. We still have Rampage is airing tomorrow, Collision still airing Saturday. Technically, there's 3 more hours of TV before we even get there. Yeah, I know Samoa Joe's in action tomorrow on Rampage. You got the Guns are actually fighting Penta and Phoenix, which I don't like when they do that. Don't give me 4/6 of the match, but that they are on Saturday. So
or 2/3 of the match, like Raw did with Galen and Zayn.
Yeah. I don't like that. I'm a big hey, if you're trying to make me buy a pay-per-view, they shouldn't touch mostly,
Yeah.
Remember what WWE used to do all the time back in the day was when there'd be 2 different matches, this person against this person, and they would make the people tag with each other, or whatever, or you'd tag with the person you were going against, the week before, like that.
John Cena and Shawn Michaels were tag champions leading up to the WrestleMania.
Yeah, weird shit like that. They used to do that all the time.
But I think
they coexist.
Yeah, but just speaking for myself here, I am excited for both pay-per-views, though, here. I think there's enough questions. There's enough potential good matches. I think it'll be a fun weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it all. So,
alrighty. Boom.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, well, with that, we will be back next week to discuss both of these shows. I'm sure there will be a lot to discuss. Well, maybe not a lot. It seems like there might be some predictability to it, but at the same time, we'll talk about it. See where things might go forward. JP, I'm sorry you were distracting me with that face. Whatever you were doing with your mouth. But yeah, we will be back next week. See who wins the predictions, and and what we will be doing in the future. But between now and then, Austin, where can the people find you?
Well, I haven't, like I said, I was on vacation, but I'm back. and I've got stuff going on already because of course I do. But I don't know when me and Jacob are doing our podcast about movies. We haven't really talked about that behind the scenes. We'll figure that out because we still got to do our 79 one, right? So
Yes.
we'll figure that out. Yeah, Wolf ghosted me that one night, so we'll be doing our Ewok drink along probably this Saturday, most likely. He got drunk at somebody else's house and then didn't want to come home and get more drunk. So,
Well, I mean, that sounds responsible.
yeah, right. So, I decided to just stay over. So, I guess that's the responsible thing to do. Yeah, I'll be doing we're on Ryan Purvis' channel, and I quote, we'll be doing one of our anniversary watch-alongs Sunday afternoon. It'll be Ghostbusters. So, 40th anniversary Ghostbusters. We'll be talking about that. And yeah, I mean, I'm actually not on a lot of stuff on the Movie Hero Network next week. Me and Richie at some point might do our Wheel of Movies maybe next Wednesday or something like that.
Which is about time.
About time, yeah, it got spun. So hey, there's at least stuff.
I thought you were saying it was about time that you guys.
Yeah, it's about time we did a Wheel of Movies on About Time. Yes. So we'll probably do that like this Wednesday or something like that. This upcoming, we'll figure it out.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I saw it, like rented it right after it first came out, missed it in theaters, and then I haven't seen it since then. So it'll be good, pretty good rewatch. Check it out.
So, Richie, other than possibly getting to About Time, what do you got going on?
Well, yeah, but I guess just on that, if because we usually have a guest, if if there's anyone out in the community that want to, is interested to be on, hit us up, and yeah, we're happy to talk about time. I haven't seen it in a while either, so good to revisit that. But yeah, again, probably like Pez, I don't have like a. Well, I mean, I did sign up for a lot of like tournament fight tier ranker, but like, yeah, I kind of, I tend to, I should write things down because I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I did sign up for that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, sign up for that. Yeah, all right. So look, I'll be on there probably at some stage. I don't think I'm on next week, so yeah, but I was on there. Then yeah, Lonely Marks, and also I mean we'll get to it sometime, but don't forget JPO. You've also got like a prediction thing in the pipeline because you and Jacob co-won the Backlash one, so
Yeah.
you can get that whenever.
Whenever it's my week, let me know. I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Sick. All right. Well, yeah. So I don't have a lot going on, but yeah. I mean, I'm on TikTok now, but I don't really have much interesting to post on there. I did post about like this about this podcast. I was like, hey, come watch this. But yeah. But I just feel very old on that because I feel like it's a Gen Z thing, and I'm nearly 35. I feel
All right. And JPO, what do you got going on? Where can the people find you?
I also had a TikTok for a couple of weeks. If you want to see like me give like 4 movie reviews and then give up on the platform, find me on TikTok. Other than that, though, I got over at the good old Pierce Co. We had a fun ASAT earlier tonight. Go check that out as we continue the tag team tournament. People suck and you're hard to book, but we're going to finish that damn tournament. And yeah, other than that, we're always doing countdowns. Wait, I just said the same thing twice. I need a nap.
You're gonna do a countdown to a countdown. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
Countdown about the movie countdown.
Top 10 countdown episodes of Countdown with JPO.
I'll show clips
right.
of them. Like, remember this when I said this about that? Remember when
Top
Zach
10
Shelton
Mojo countdowns
had
about
Casablanca in his top 10 worst
movies of all time? That's weird, right?
Yeah, Jesus.
I need to send him some bad movies. Me and Richie need to give him a list of bad movies that are way worse.
The dude loved Scooby-Doo too, and like gave 3 stars to like, what was it, Envy? And so like he's seen shittier movies than he has.
Yeah.
Pierce Wrestling as well. That's a thing, as well as Real Pro Wrestling, as well as Why We Love Horror, Combat Wrestling Trivia. Henry's Live Confidential Action. It's his birthday tomorrow. Maybe it's Tato's birthday. I don't know. Happy birthday, Jacob Barber.
Oh, thank you. Mine was a month and a half ago. Well, thanks for remembering.
I think we survived the wave of like everybody having birthdays at the same month.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's catch all these lovely people and everything that they're doing. Yeah, like Austin said, a podcast about movies this weekend at some point between all the wrestling and all the getting drunk that he's going to be doing. We will talk tonight.
We could probably do it on Sunday before like Double or Nothing or something.
That's probably what I'm thinking is going to be best.
Little time, yeah.
Yeah,
Because my Saturday night is looking full already. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll be talking some 1979 movies as we continue our anniversary series, which is really my favorite thing that we do each year because it's just a nice way to fill in some blind spots, but also champion movies that we each love. So it's a fun time. Check it out. What else? Combat Wrestling Trivia. The finals of the Clash took place last week. So if you haven't watched it yet, go find out if I'm challenging for the title or not. So it was a great match. I faced Eric Moreno, who's a great competitor. So go check it out if you haven't yet. And yeah, we'll be back next Thursday with some more Lonely Marks. So Pez, I don't have access to this because you run the stream now because I don't get home until like 10 minutes before we go live. So take us out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, JPO. Jacob Barber. Hey, at least you were on time today. That's good. So you made it home. You were here for the start of the show. That's good. We'll see everybody next time. Thanks for tuning in. Whether you tuned in now, tune in later. We love you very much. Go wrestling.